All right, Dave. Give us the rundown, bro. All the moves, transactions, free agencies, trades,
Free
signings,
agency.
releases. But no,
Free
no,
agency.
no,
What we've been
literally.
doing, Dave, we've been doing I've been giving a breakdown of each team. Give us the free agent moves that you like, the losses that you don't like, and then we'll move on to the draft. Like, you haven't had any coaching changes, right? Coordinator and
No, in fact, they brought back DC.
Same, right?
Dan Quinn,
Was
DQ came back. Huh?
He was interviewing like that.
Yeah,
that was
no, he had a bunch of
yours for a
interviews.
bit.
He almost left town, but then he realized, I could probably take over this team if things go slow in the beginning.
You just said you got a Super Bowl winning coach. You don't think?
Dude, I can't get behind McCarthy. I was just trying to become my guy. Listen, when it comes to the Cowboys, I love my squad. I love
Can't
my
get
team.
around McCarthy either.
I'm as real as it gets, dude. Mike McCarthy is obviously he's a competent head coach. He's probably ranked maybe in the top half, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go to bat for him too much, so don't worry about that. But as far as the Cowboys go, I do a great podcast with Blogging the Boys, and we're having 2 premier writers on this week, which is actually pretty cool for the Cowboys. So this team last year kind of outkicked their coverage, kind of like when you meet that girl that has no business being with you. You know what I mean? Like right. So like they outkicked their coverage a little bit.
An avid user of roofies, so he completely gets that.
right. So oh God, they're in the bag. I would say, last year was a fun year. It was a good run, but then in typical Cowboy form, they get bounced in the first round. They didn't show much fight. So whatever. Now going into the next year, when you think about the Cowboys, you're thinking like, all right, based off the talent of what they have, they could probably, win this division, which hasn't had a back-to-back division champion since like 2003 or something with McNabb's Eagles, right? So like it's been a long time since a team won back-to-back division titles in this in the NFC East. So in my mind, I'm like, well, based off of what they did last year, I mean, they beat the brakes off the Eagles. They beat the shit out of the Giants. They kicked the shit out of the Commanders. You know what I mean? Like, well, the one game was a little rough, but like overall, they won some games within the division. So I'm saying in my mind, I'm like, there's your 5 wins. There's 5 wins right there, right? But as far as what they lost in the offseason, a lot of people put too much stock into Randy Gregory, losing Randy Gregory to Denver. I don't, because of the fact that, like, just look at the numbers. Like, Dorrance Armstrong, believe it or not, is one of it was Jerry Jones's pet cat. Like, he had him around on the roster for no reason for a long time. For like 3 years, you were looking at like, why the fuck is Dorrance Armstrong on this roster? His numbers were actually comparable to Randy Gregory. So like, when you lose Gregory, name value, it sucks. It stings a little bit.
And not to mention, not to cut you off, Dave, but not to mention, let's be honest about Randy Gregory. Great talent, but the man has some demons that he sometimes can't control off the field.
I honestly don't hold that against the kid, because the fact that like he played all season this time, it was squeaky clean. You know what I'm saying? Like, he bounced back from all his demons. Right, no suspensions. It was a full camp. It was a full season for this kid, and he performed, and that's what got him paid, right? So Denver gives him the bag. Good for him. Yeah. The loss that makes me kind of cringe, but like I think will be okay, is shipping off Lyle Collins like he was nobody. Like he's a mean dude over there at right tackle. We do have Terrence Steele. We do have some swing tackle ability, but Lyle Collins, he was suspended last year for the whole, I don't even know. They suspended him for like 5 games. Yeah. And we did all right without him, right? But when he got back, you just knew he was there. He's going to go to bat for your quarterback. He's going to block very well in the pass blocking game. If you guys remember, I think there was a late hit out of bounds, and Collins almost ripped the guy's throat out because they went after Dak. So that's the kind of guy you want on your team. Yeah. But his departure kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But overall, like the gains, I mean, there wasn't many other departures other than that. And yeah, I guess you could say
you were going ballistic on Twitter for the first couple of days of free agency. Like, when are we doing something? When are we
because when you send off all these assets for nothing, i.e. Amari Cooper, you got nothing for him, other than $20 million in cap space is all you got. And guess how you guys are never going to believe this, but guess how much cap space the Cowboys have right now on July 21st?
18 and a half.
$21 million. So they could have kept Amari Cooper and did everything else they wanted to do, but they shipped him off. And there's things about Amari Cooper's game that I kind of like, I look back and I'm like, well, where the fuck was he on that one? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of plays he didn't show up, and there's a lot of fourth quarters he doesn't show up. I still believe Amari Cooper is still probably one of the better route runners in the game of football right now.
Agreed.
And if Deshaun Watson is under center, he might have some fun over there. If it's the backup for a couple weeks, he might struggle. He might he might disappear. What's up?
You think you make that move because it's they know CeeDee Lamb is about to be the man?
Yeah, when we drafted
comfortable
CeeDee
letting
Lamb,
him go because you got a 1A.
Yeah, when CeeDee Lamb was drafted, I said it going into last year. I said by week 6 of 2021, Cooper was no longer going to be the man over there. I said CeeDee Lamb is going to be your wide receiver 1. And while the stats didn't show that, CeeDee Lamb had a down year compared to his rookie year. But that 2020 year is just wacky as it is.
He was getting more respect too.
He was getting a little bit more. Now. Yeah, they were respecting him on the outside, and now he's going to really have to command respect because he is the wide receiver 1. And when you look at that receiving core, it's alarming a little bit. Not so much because I do like the draft pick. I mean, that the kid is unbelievable. I think Jalen is going to be a phenomenal pick. Give him some time to develop. The Michael Gallup injury happened late in the season, literally against the 49ers. So like you're thinking, okay, that's January. When the hell are we going to get this guy back? Yeah. So apparently he's not going to start on the PUP list from everything I gather from all my guys over in Dallas. He won't start on the PUP list. So we're hoping to have him back right away. Oh, wow. Now, the interesting sign
that's like an Adrian Peterson type of return that fast to go mid-January to opening day.
Yes, that's like 7 months, 8 months. So I did it too. I tore my ACL. It took me 10 months to get back in the ring, bro. That was not fun at all. Whatchamacallit. So with Michael Gallup on the way back and the sneaky pickup that they had on the cheap was James Washington out of Pittsburgh, and because James Washington was buried on that depth chart. And look, let's call it how it is, bro. Like between Chase Claypool and Juju and Deontay Johnson, how much production were you going to get out of those guys when Ben couldn't throw the ball 15 yards down the field anyway?
He wasn't getting nothing anyway.
The last 2 years of Ben Roethlisberger's career was brutal. And a guy on Twitter, you might know him, his name is Des Bryant. He was the one saying, he was the one politicking for James Washington. Dallas should go get James Washington, very reminiscent of my style of play. Big body, get up and get it, high point the ball. So I like that. I like the pickup of James Washington, but then there's guys in Dallas, writers in Dallas that say this guy might not make the roster because Jalen Tolbert might emerge. I don't know. Noah Brown's been there for I don't even know, 6 years at this point, but he's a good blocking receiver, much like, my man Zeke is a good pass blocking running back, which everybody gets on my case about because I still think Ezekiel Elliott is a top 10 back in the league, but people just go nuts on me with that one. But
he is a good pass blocking running back until Aaron Donald's on the other side.
I haven't really had to experience that. We won't have to experience that either. So that's a good thing. Whatchamacallit. So as far as the Cowboys go, the free agency was very dull. They're sitting there on all this money. They really lowballed fucking Von Miller when they tried to get him, and Von Miller was like, I would have went to Dallas, but not for that much less. You know what I mean? Like this guy was felt disrespected. I do like a lot of guys in their second year. Not second year. Well, obviously Micah Parsons is a generational player. Everybody likes Micah Parsons. You can't hate the guy. The only people that are going to hate the guy is much like I hated Lawrence Taylor. You know what I mean? Because he's just a menace. This guy is going to be in your ass every week. You know what I mean? Micah Parsons is going to be good. Yeah, hell, I've heard that. And DeMarcus Lawrence, again, a lot of people write him off because they look at the sack numbers. They're like, well, he only had a couple sacks. Bro, the different things that DeMarcus Lawrence can do on defense, as far as obviously draw a double team, draw that extra block, draw everything, run stopper. But the Cowboys have been piss poor stopping the run the last couple of years, except for him. You know what I mean? So except for DeMarcus Lawrence getting involved over there.
I think fucking Giants fans, you're gonna find Giants haters.
When I see things like that
all day, Matt is strangely angry all the time.
When I see things like that, I ask him well, okay, show me on the doll where Micah Parsons hurt you. You know what I mean? What are we talking about? Fuck Micah Parsons. The kid did anything wrong in his entire rookie year.
He touched me here.
Yeah, right. Trayvon Diggs coming into another year, which is, by the way, I don't know if you guys saw that, he had 11 picks. He had 11 picks last year, and his over-under on picks this year is it might have been 13. I don't know. It was something crazy, and he his over-under this year is 4.5. So it's they're really, it's almost as if is he going to turn into Dion? Meaning the picks will be down because nobody wants to throw over there. You know, Trayvon Diggs has been a really good
But
shutdown
they
corner
throw there.
last
Like,
year.
I'm glad you brought this up.
Well,
He did
go ahead.
give up a lot of yards, and when I know you're a fan, so take the fan hat off and put the football analyst hat on.
100% gave up
His
a lot of big plays.
Has a lot to be desired for.
Yes, 100%.
He gets spun around a lot. He's got poor hips. If you can double move him, you can expose him. But
you need a lot of top. You need a lot of help over the top.
Superb athlete, and he can make up for his technical flaws with his athleticism.
Yeah, his ball skills. That ball's in the air. He's taking it down.
Yes, if he can improve his technique, he can get to that level, but he's not there yet.
No,
and I think a lot of his picks, 4 or 5 that I saw, because early in the year last year, you know, they play the Giants. It's on TV in the market. They play the Eagles. They're on the Sunday night game, the Thursday night game against the Bucs to start the season. We saw him a lot early. A lot of those picks were like a bobbled pass, like 3 or 4 that I saw weren't a clean pick. He did make fantastic.
Hey, Nick.
Pick he made in the Tampa Bay.
You can't hate the man for the picks. The man gets the picks. Hey,
so
when a guy comes down with a ball, player, you get the interceptions. I get that,
but some of them were tipped or bobbled.
Yeah, but
I will give him credit.
The same thing. The same thing is like if I throw if I throw a 50-50 ball to CeeDee Lamb and he bobbles it and catches it, I'm gonna be like, well, you know, he did bobble it. Like, no, he caught the damn ball. So